A very good evening and heartiest welcome to all fellow Toastmasters and dear guests to the meeting number 365 of Bombay Toastmasters. My name is Varun, the Sergeant at Arms for today's meeting. Now, with the recent tremendous success, I would say, of RRR and KGF Chapter 2, it got me thinking, who could be the biggest celebrity in India? Now, Bollywood versus South Indian cinema has always been the topic of debate amongst the cinephiles. But there is someone who has the biggest celebrity status than any other star in the country. Anybody would like to guess? Let me tell you, it's none other than the mosquito, the most prevalent and the omnipresent celebrity across the country, getting thunderous claps everywhere it roams. But this little mortal had the daring to deny the claps to the big celebrity, and that too without any precautionary measures, only to face the wrath of dengue. And the result was 3 weeks gone, just like that recovery. So anyways, lesson learned the hard way. So the next time you have an encounter with the celebrity, please do ensure to take abundant precautions. And if that's not possible, get ready to clap. Let us start quickly and go over some of the rules of this online meeting. Requesting all the guests to kindly rename themselves. They can attach the prefix guest, and the visiting Toastmasters from any club who would be in presence may please prefix visit with the name. I would also request all the speakers and role players to prefix the respective role to their names so that it's easy to identify them. Please take the next 10 seconds for this activity. All right, let us quickly go over the mission of our club. Sorry, my bad. Further, I would like to reiterate, all speakers are requested to do a quick audio and video check before they start the speech. Please refrain from typing in the chat box when a speaker is speaking, as it can be distracting. However, you are always welcome to provide your feedback in the private chat. All are requested to keep their audio on mute when they are not speaking, and please do not click on share screen unless your speech or role requires you to do so. Now let us begin with the mission of our club. We provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Next up, it's time to call upon the Toastmaster, who is renowned for his powerful storytelling with a humorous touch. To introduce him in his own words, if I may, an engineer who is learning forever, a heartfelt blogger, and a philosopher of his own sort, breaking bones and not hearts since 1993. Please welcome the VP Education of our club and the presiding officer of today's evening, Toastmaster Ankit Satanekar. Ankit, I think your video is not visible. I'm not able to spotlight you. I'm not able to. Is anybody else able to view the video of Ankit? Or am I facing some issue?
Yes. Varun, we can see his video.
Yeah.
I think you will have to unmute him. I think also you will have to unmute him. I think he's not able to
speak.
Yeah.
I mean,
No.
he's speaking up, but we are not able to hear him.
Yeah. No, he dropped out. I'm just admitting him again. Let's try again. He joined from some other device, I suppose, just now. Yeah. Now Ankit, you're ready. Yeah.
Give me 1 sec for some technical adjustments that I need to.
Ankit, you were visible for some time, but now again I think we lost the connection. I suppose on the backup device from where you were trying to log in. Yeah, now it's there.
Yeah. Thank you. Good evening, everyone who has joined us for this meeting. And yes, it was glad to have you back with a roar, Toastmaster Varun. So glad to have you back. And I think that you should reduce your interactions with those celebrities and keep yourself hale and hearty. Whether I don't know about whether State Bank of India can work without you or not, but certainly your absence is a huge dent to Bombay Toastmasters. So moving on, when I thought that, okay, so it's the month of April and coming May, then you do not have so much work as of now. So I was thinking that what's the best way that you can do to spend some time? And that's where probably I thought that watching few movies will enhance my experience and help me to utilize my free time in a better manner. And in the same way, when Varun started with the 2 South Indian movies, I thought, like, this is the time where regional cinema is making its own place in the Indian film industry. And it's a proud moment that it's no longer Bollywood, no longer the Hindi film industry, but the Indian film industry that is progressing ahead. And that is all we want. I still remember when year 2016, when Seuss had just made its debut. Now, with not a well-known director and a fresh face in two new fresh faces making their debut, we had not given them a chance to make something out of it. But yet, Seuss was a blockbuster. It defeated everything and it slashed each and every expectation and created history. And although when we talk about the remake, well, certainly no one wants to talk about that remake. And that is where the beauty of cinema lies. That let original be original. And when we say that movies are just a media of communication, of expressing the society's view to, of course, its society. So what do we expect out of it? Clarity, confidence, and commitment towards a better future. I still remember that when the movie Parasite, a Korean film, won the best movie at I still remember a quote which was said by the director of that movie, that if we could go beyond that half inch of subtitle, then a new world is open for us. And hence, I would like to take you all on this journey for a new, towards a new meeting. So I would like to ask in the audience if there's anyone, either a guest or a visiting Toastmaster, who's joining the meeting of Bombay Toastmasters for the very first time. May I request Jennifer, if you are joining our meeting for the first time, to please unmute yourself and let us know, how did you come to know about Bombay Toastmasters and what are you expecting from this meet? Jennifer?
Hey, hi, Ankit. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, so Ankit, I've heard about Toastmasters from a colleague of mine. So his name was Sri Venkatesh. I'm not sure he was a member of the Bombay Toastmasters, but I think maybe Chembur or something. Okay, so yeah, maybe Chembur or something, but yeah, I've heard about it from him. And really what I am looking for is, again, the same thing, so it's about the public speaking and about communicating much better. So though I've had like 20 years of work ex, but I still find, there's a lot more to still kind of learn. And when it comes to public speaking, yes, there is a bit of apprehension, there is a bit of fear. So I am just looking to overcome that. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. And I would like to assure you that you are at the right place. Moving ahead, we have a special guest who will also be evaluating the speech later. Toastmaster Prakhar, if we could just hear a word or two about you, about how your journey in Toastmasters till now has helped you in your life.
Yeah, hi Ankit. So I'm audible, right? Yeah. So I'm from Infosys Pune Toastmasters Club, and I heard from Parth that you were a ex-member of that club. So I joined IPTMC in February this year, and in a short span of time, I've just completed my level 1. I think with this evaluation, I'll complete my level 1. So I think that gives a boost to anyone to continue this journey. They go level by level, complete pathways, and that's. So I'm looking forward to that, and looking forward to my target speaker, Vipul, I think, and looking forward to that evaluation. Yeah. So that's about it.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Prakhar. And let me tell you that your Vice President Education is going to be a happy man today evening. And with that, it's now time to move ahead and introduce you to the Toastmaster, who's going to be the anchor of today's journey. Well, you have heard about King of Comeback. In cricket, we used to mention that name with Sourav Ganguly. But however, making a comeback in Toastmasters, it's very rare and very few people have managed to do it. But we have a special Toastmaster who had delivered his icebreaker and gave a promising start. However, due to his professional commitments, he needed to take a small break. But now he's again back with a bang. And as one of the biggest responsibilities in a Toastmaster meeting, as the TMOD for the evening. Dear Toastmasters and guests, allow me to welcome the Toastmaster of the day for this meeting, Toastmaster Jayaraj Dharani. Please give him a huge round of applause. Over to you, Jayaraj.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ankit, for that wonderful introduction. And really, you made my evening. And good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests present in the meeting. Welcome to 365th meeting of Bombay Toastmaster Club. We have a very exciting meeting planned for you today. Before we get on to it, let me give you a quick overview about it. Our Toastmaster program consists of three major parts. During the first segment, we will hear speeches that have been prepared according to the guidelines found in the either basic communication and leadership manual. Time frames for the speeches range from 5 to 7 minutes or may go up to 10 minutes depending on the speaker's project and the pathways being followed by them. But today we have only icebreaker speeches, so timing will be 4 to 6 minutes. The second segment of the program, called Table Topics, gives all of us an opportunity to do some improv speaking. The Table Topics master will give us interesting topic that we will talk about from 1 to 2 minutes. By the way, I encourage all of our guests to participate in it. In part 3 of the meeting, each prepared speech will be evaluated by fellow Toastmasters. The general evaluator for today's program will give you more specific information later. Also, during this portion, our grammarian will make note of any grammatical errors for us to improve upon, and the timer will let us know if the prepared speeches, the prompt talks, and the evaluations met the required time frames. Let me know in case of any questions. All right. Moving forward, let me ask you one question. You have to give the answer for it. Please listen carefully. I have lots to say, but never speak. I open, but you cannot walk through me. I have spine, but no bones. What it can be?
A book.
That's correct. The answer is book. Why I have added this question? The reason behind it, today is World's Book Day, as several prominent authors were either born or have died on this day. This date is chosen because it is the anniversary of death of greatest writer in the English language and the world's greatest dramatist, William Shakespeare, and one of the great Spanish chroniclers of 16th century, Garcilaso de la Vega. Most of the successful people have reason for their success is books they read. Even you might have heard about it. Microsoft founder Bill Gates read 50 books every year. 50? That sounds really huge in numbers, but as per research, we should read at least 12 books in a year. May I ask you another question? How many of you have reading habit? Please type yes in the chat. Okay. Okay, lots of yes there. Okay, few of us having reading habit, but many of us like me get bored when we take book to read. I remember my childhood when I used to take book, that time it was like sleeping pill for me. Everyone reads book with open eyes, but my eye used to close just seeing the book. Jokes apart, books have changed life of many people and also help them in finding solution for their problems in their life, whether it is career, business, or mental peace. Who doesn't want to grow in their career? Who does not want to keep their mind young? Of course, everyone. So today we will learn importance of reading and how to inculcate reading habits within us. Before moving to the meeting, as we all know, books are made up of three main parts: forward, index, and bibliography. Similarly, there are three most important pillars in every Toastmasters meeting. Inviting the first role player, who will be active listener and monitor the language and grammar usage of every member participating today. and who is fiction guy, and for him reading involves getting inside the heads of characters, which help him to imbibe empathy in the process of communication and to understand the emotions of the persons with whom he communicates. Recently, he read the Kite Runner book written by Khaled Hosseini. Let's welcome grammarian Toastmaster Varun.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day, Jayaraj, for that wonderful introduction. Fellow Toastmasters and dear guests, as the grammarian for the evening, it will be my responsibility to listen to everything said during the meeting and to note and report effective usage of the grammar. And also, if there is any grammatically incorrect sentence in the speech. As grammarian, it is also my task to present to you all the word of the day. And for today's meeting, the word I have picked is peruse. I hope it's visible. So it's a. I'll also a little later I'll post it in the chat box for you all for your convenience. And it's a interesting word. Actually, a contronym because it has multiple definitions that seem to contradict each other. Let me explain that. It can mean the first meaning the word can mean is to read something in a relaxed way or skim, as we usually say. An example of that would be catch your breath, relax, and peruse the cafe's menu. Second, it can also mean to read something thoroughly, in detail, or very carefully. An example would be he studiously perused the biking catalogs of the additional gear he would need for the trek and crossed his fingers he had chosen correctly. So see, two opposite meanings of the same word, exact opposites, I would say. So try to use the word of the day in your speeches as much as possible. I'll give the word of the day report and the grammatical usage report when called for at the end of the meeting. Thank you and over to you, Toastmaster of the day, Jayaraj.
Thank you, Varun. We will definitely peruse to use this peruse word. Inviting the second role player who will be helping us in recording our crutch words and sounds. Reading helped her to improve vocabulary and helped her to speak flawlessly. And currently, she is reading Sapiens by Yuan, which is thrilling account of history and also tells us where we are heading. Let's welcome our counter of the day, Toastmaster Nivedita.
Good evening. After almost 3 years, when I attended an offsite, I was quite excited after returning and telling exciting stories to my family members. More so to my daughter. I started. You know what I did? You know, this is what I've seen. You know, we had forest safari. She was looking blankly. Mama, how I'll come to know unless and until you tell me? This, will not help. That reminds me why our counter is important. A great evening to all of you. The purpose of our counter is to listen to all speakers and note the words or sound such as filler words such as well, long pauses, not which are not necessary as a part of sentence structure, or such as so, inappropriate interjections, but actually, and any other filler words. I'll give my report when called upon at the end of the meeting. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nivedita. Inviting another key role player of meeting who will be helping us to keep tab on our time spent. Reading helped him to make communication more impactful and his point was, on which I agree, if we can learn someone's lifetime experience by just spending 1 month in reading the book, then it is worth spending of time in it. He is currently reading The Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham. Let's welcome timer of the day, Toastmaster Ritik.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. My greetings to the fellow Toastmasters and guests. As a timer, I will time the table topic speakers, formal speeches, and evaluations. I will also alert each speaker of the time they have left using the green, red, and yellow card, which denotes the specific time remaining. The table topic speakers should limit their remarks to no more than 2 minutes. At 1 minute, I will raise the green card, and at 1 minute and 30 seconds, I will raise the yellow card. At 2 minutes, I will raise the red card. Icebreaker speeches should be between 4 to 6 minutes in length. At 4 minutes, I will raise the green card. At 5 minutes, I will raise the yellow card, and at the 6 minutes, I will raise the red card. The individual evaluation should be between 2 to 3 minutes. At 2 minutes, I will raise the green card. At 2 minutes and 30 seconds, I will raise the yellow card, and at 3 minutes, I will raise the red card. Thank you, and over to Toastmaster of the day, Jayaraj.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ritik. All right, moving on further. If doctors suggest you one medicine which will improve your creativity and imagination, improves memory, increases your concentration and attention span, reduces stress, and also which could extend your life, will you take that medicine? I guess most of the answers will be yes. And I don't know, such medicine is available in the market, but with the help of reading books, you can get this benefit. This will also help to increase your vocabulary, improve your writing skills. When I was in the college, I was just focused on syllabus given in the class books. That time, one of my friends gifted me book called The Richest Man in Babylon. I wanted to become rich, and still I want to. So this book seek my attention, and it is not like I have achieved financial freedom. But yes, by this book, I came to know that how much this book contains knowledge in it. By just following some good books, we can solve many problems in our life. I will share some book names to start a reading habit. Before that, learning can also be done by listening to our prepared speakers as they are eagerly waiting to present themselves. Before we rush into listening first speech, let's hear the speech objective from evaluator of first speaker, Toastmaster Avantika.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. The purpose of the speaker's project today is to introduce himself or herself to the club and learn the basic structure of a public speaking. Timer, kindly note the speech time limit is 4 to 6 minutes. I wish the speaker good luck and handing it back over to you, Toastmaster of the day. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Avantika. May I now welcome our first speaker for this evening, who will be presenting her icebreaker speech, Toastmaster Jenna. Can you please quickly check your audio and video?
Am I audible?
Yes. Okay. Toastmaster Jenna, dreams and destinations. Dreams and destinations, Toastmaster Jenna.
Dreams. What are dreams? Dreams are sensations that one experiences while sleeping. They are a beautiful escape that one takes to break away from reality. This is how I grew up. Hello to my Toastmaster fellows, general evaluators, and today's guests. I am Jenna Doshi, a graphic designer currently working at Landor & Fitch India is one of the most respected design agencies, and sharing here how dreams and destinations collide. When I was a child, everything had a dreamy feel to it, whether it was playing in the garden, chasing after a dog, pretending to be a doctor. After school, I would call upon my friends and play make-believe games, which led to marvelous memories and developed my imagination. Then my world tilted towards a platform which was filled with pencils and papers and crayons. Thoughts changed into shapes and forms. Paper turned into origami and puppets. The art and craft classes which my parents enrolled me into exploded and enhanced my mind. The joy of coloring wild animals and sketching favorite cartoon characters led into creating funny and personalized birthday cards for my friends and close family members. Realizing this potential, my family encouraged me to take my art more seriously during my teenage years, which led to be the best decision of my life as I turned to choose my hobby and convert it into a career pathway. The 5 years I spent at Sophia Polytechnic are the days I reminisce about the most. All the live sketching which I did at daily basis, the branding projects, the innovative advertising, all the craziness which happened while making videos and illustrating storybooks. These are all the things which I had done there, and yet it was just the beginning. Like all designers, I followed world-renowned industry leaders and tried to copy them in the hopes of me being somewhat better or as good as they are. These are those designers who reflect their passion in their work, which is what motivates me, and that is what I aspire for my work to have. This is what led me to understand that there are other types of dreams too. Dreams which we see with open eyes and where we work towards achieving something which is satisfactory for the soul and not for the family or for the food we eat. This would be a pure joy which could only achieve through great struggle and hard work. Packing all this knowledge from college, I marched towards this dream of being a professional designer. Up until now, I was playing to my strengths, so I didn't know what challenges lay beyond. The design life, the work culture was amazing. It got me excited. I worked on big brands, helped small startups into good concepts. But there were other things like interaction with clients and presentation, being mindful of our seniors and their expectations, which was what I was not prepared for. Those were the things which I struggled in, and for a long period couldn't improve on it. It was a total nightmare. I stammered through presentations, forgot words while talking, wouldn't even bother speaking to clients in some meetings. To present my work, which was good, but still not able to persuade someone into believing the work, led to a whole new level of self-disappointment and lowering my self-confidence. And this is when I realized that I should do something about it, and I won't be able to move ahead in life without solving this problem of mine. So this quote made me realize that thinking only will not work, but I will have to act on it as well. Notwithstanding how long you should choose, you should keep thinking about it. Action is what makes it a reality. When you dream, act. And when you act, act well. Well, folks, here I am to act on my dream so that one day it will become a reality. Over to you, Toastmasters. Thank you.
Very few people able to make their career in their area of interest. You are really an inspiration for us, for all of us. Giving you all 30 seconds to give feedback to Toastmaster Jena in the personal chat box. Timer, kindly let us know once the 30 seconds are done.
Yeah, so 30 seconds are over.
Okay. All right. Let me welcome our second speech evaluator to share the objectivity of the speech. Toastmaster Sunaina.
Thank you. It's come to my perusal that you are going to meet somebody new. Yes, it is an icebreaker. The pathway is persuasive. The purpose of the speech is for the speaker to introduce themselves to the club and basic structure of this speech. Timer, please note that the timings are 4 to 6 minutes for the icebreaker. I wish the speaker over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sunaina. May I now welcome Toastmaster Siddhi to present her icebreaker speech. Toastmaster Siddhi, can you please quickly check your audio video?
Am I audible and visible?
Yes, you are. Toastmaster Siddhi, juggling paths. Juggling paths, Toastmaster Siddhi. Over to you, Siddhi.
Yes, I'm sorry. Okay, so Leo Holtz, the famous football player, once said, and I quote, "Ability is what you are capable of doing. Motivation determines what you do, and attitude determines how well you do it." Good evening to fellow Toastmasters and my dear guests. I would like to start by asking a very simple question. Has anyone present here ever felt like excelling at everything? Like being that one person who wants to be versatile in life, like being a doctor, lawyer, like in one, like all of it in your one lifetime? Anyone? Just show a raise of hand. That's okay. I can see many of you have raised. I guess most of you are ambitious. So, well, in my case, it wasn't me, but my parents who thought so. And I was admitted in kindergarten to Srimati Slochna Devi Singhania School, Thane, which was known as one of the elite school during my time. And by the time I reached the second grade, my parents enrolled me in sports, especially as an athlete. So, not to brag, but I was pretty good at it. And my parents thought the same, and they were dreaming about me being an athlete in the near future. But the aspirations were shattered when my training hindered my academic progress. From a straight A student, I became an average student. So I had to stop my training and had to focus more upon the studies. However, this didn't stop my parents from making me the second Einstein the world might know. Preparing for Olympiads, school quizzes, and scholarships literally felt like grinding my brain. I ardently anticipated that the grooves on my brain were going to vanish with this much of pressure. And it kind of became a daily routine, like eat, study, sleep, and repeat. And although this routine did wonders for me, it was pretty hectic for me to handle all of the school drama along with my parents' hopes as well. So in sixth grade, I joined this military, which was an extracurricular and mandatory activity offered by our school. And it kind of taught us how to be a leader. And also it taught about rifle shooting and other amusing things. And being the commander of my troop, my parents were very proud of me when they saw me in that military uniform. And hence they decided to put me in defense sector now. So, however, when they saw my rifle shooting performance, the aspirations that were soaring so high came down crashing right away. Moving on, I guess all of you might have seen the movie Three Idiots. So, anyways, in one of the scenes where as soon as Farhan Qureshi was born, his father takes a decision of making him an engineer, and I quote, "Mera beta engineer banega." So by the time I reached 10th grade, in similar way, even my fate was sealed to become a doctor. Although my parents did take that decision for me, my interest in biology peaked during this time period. Now, making it to 10th grade earlier than expected, I was on fire. I think most of us have experienced the trauma of passing the boards where everyone, parents and those relatives from whom the kids have never met, they have terrified the kids by saying, study well. If you don't get good marks, you won't get into a good college. If you don't get into good college, you won't get a good job. And it's still going on and on and on till date. So this train helped me to pass my 10th boards with an aggregate of 90%. Next started my journey to get into a medical college. Now, belonging to an open category, it was very hard to get into a government medical college. And on top of it, cracking the medical entrance exam, that is the NEET UG, which you all must have heard of, was arduous. Now, from attending lectures at college to classes till 9 in evening, the next 2 years were a complete struggle. So on the day of that exam, with all that jitteriness, the exam commenced. After 3 hours of being in deep water, I was finally relieved that my exam was finally over. Now we were just lingering upon time for the final results. Finally came the D-Day, the day of my result. Me and my parents waited for the result with bated breath. On announcement of the result, since I didn't get into a very high score, unfortunately, I didn't get into a medical college I had dreamt of. And although I was upset, I didn't lose hope and decided to take a drop to prepare solely for the entrance exam. I perused myself into books along with solving past year question papers. I grinded my brain all year long, from missing my brother's wedding to not even celebrating my own birthday at the end of the year. Where at the end of the year, I finally took the exam. And oh boy, did I crack my exam this time. And also did get into a college this time. And although I was elated yet, I felt dejected because it wasn't the one which I had always wanted to go into. And then it just struck me, if I can't get into medical, why not go for paramedical instead? So after months of research, I came across another course, MBA Pharmatech, which is a dual degree with a specialization in pharmacy. It's an integration course of MBA and pharmacy, which was offered by Narasimhan Institute of Management Studies. And I enrolled for it, and here I am now making drugs for the betterment of people. And although I might not be the second Einstein, it seems like I'm better at making drugs than making people better. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Okay, that was great. Hearing to you that you are the all-rounder of all the fields. Okay, giving you all 30 seconds to give feedback to Toastmaster Siddhi in the chat box. Timer, kindly let us know once 30 seconds are over.
Yeah, 30 seconds.
Thank you, Ritik. Okay, let me welcome third speech evaluator to share the objective of the speech, Toastmaster Dinesh. You are on mute.
Thank you, TMOD. My speaker is a new member and he is going to attempt his icebreaker speech. The objective of the speech, as you all know by this time, is to introduce himself and tell us about his family, his education, his idea why he joined this Toastmaster club and all that. Time allotted to the speaker is 4 to 6 minutes, and I wish the speaker all the best. Thank you.
All right. May I now welcome Toastmaster Vinay to present his icebreaker speech. Toastmaster Vinay, can you please quickly check your audio and video?
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jayes, and thank you,
Let
Toastmaster.
me introduce the topic, please.
Oh.
Toastmaster Vinay, the journey with my constant, Toastmaster Vinay.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jayes. I'm getting goosebumps. It is like I'm in the first year of engineering and seniors are asking me to give my introduction. But anyway, good evening, Toastmaster and dear guest. 15th January 1984, in a small village in Darbhanga, Bihar, with relatives and friends, my family celebrated my birth. Vinay, my maternal grandfather, named me. Being the first child of the next generation in my paternal side, I was very close to everyone, especially my grandparents. You can see the cut beside my left eye. It is not the birthmark, but a proof of my playful nature during the childhood. 5 years old, now my parents became serious about my studies and we all shifted to Ranchi. It's a nearby town. Earlier it was part of Bihar only. And then the first change in my life happened and everything was new. I was from a small village to a new town. Everything changed around me. I was handheld by mother always. All of a sudden, discipline engulfed my life. There was timetable for everything. I started moving out, making friends. And there was one challenge. I was like Maithili was a mother tongue for me. So all of a sudden I have started hearing people speaking in Hindi. So it was a new language and every time my new acquaintances, seniors used to come to me and have a chat because they found a funny tone in me. Slowly, I learned in Hindi and got admitted in a CBSE school. Although we shifted to Ranchi and we were living in a rented house, so we used to shift every time. So I did not had much emotion with all the new houses, but then I had spent 11 years in the same school, so it was like a second home. It was quite okay for me to change the house, but don't change the school. And with each day, it was very interesting. I still remember the first day of my school. It was like you can see I still feel nervous when I remember the first day of my school. It was like my father dropped me and he handed me over to a class teacher, and she had the specs in her eyes, she had a big face, and I was frightened. But slowly she introduced me to the prefect of the class and to new kids. Some of them greeted me very well, and she had instructed the prefect to take me throughout the school and show me what are the things that are there, like playground and what else stuff are there. And I spent half an hour with him. He showed me the entire campus, big building, big campus, buses, and there was a playground and all. I spoken to him a lot, and he also found me funny, so we developed a sort of rapport. And after half an hour, I started smiling that yes, it's okay, I can stay at this place. So all this, the new journey had started. Now, when I was in class 5th, it was the second change. My parents became further concerned about my studies, and what I realized that they were very much focused on mathematics. I did not realize that why they're focusing only on one subject, and there are so many different subjects also. Whenever some relatives used to visit our house, especially people belonging to the education sector, they used to introduce me and they tell them that you just bide in. And they used to ask me questions, and then openly they were giving feedbacks also. So initially, for the initial few such sort of experiences, I was like frightened that now someone else has come and they will take my test and they will give me feedback, and that too in front of my parents, and I will get huge scolding. But slowly, it has become a practice. With this, what happened that I started developing interest in mathematics, and after say 6 months or 1 year, my command over the subject has increased. I developed interest in it, and slowly I started getting appreciation from my friends also, because I was responding to teachers in my school. So now it has become furthermore attractive. Now it was like I myself was interested whenever someone used to come. I myself was like introducing myself and just see whether I'm doing well or not. And this went on. This went on till I was in class 9. When I was in class 9, there was a major change, I can say. There was a major change. A new student joined our school, and I was like, I found myself attracted to her, and it was like all my focus on school was on her only. Slowly, I started thinking that how to impress her and all. After giving a proper thought, I realized that I have to study and there is no other option. The only way to impress her was to study well and get good score. That was my realization at that time. I started focusing, but I couldn't do much in class 9. When I was in 10th, it was again a new beginning. I started afresh. I was thoroughly focused on her and subsequently on my studies. The only two things that I did for the entire year. I did well in boards, and I, from the 17th position in class 9th, I moved to second position. So it was like I further started getting appreciations from other friends, from teachers also. And in her family also, our parents, I grabbed their attention, but I did not grab her attention. It was like I went on to become more studious in front of her. It was okay. Then there was 12th and came the competition, that is engineering. In Bihar and Jharkhand, it's quite tough to manage a seat in engineering college. Although it is further tough in medical, but even getting a seat in engineering was not easy. So initially I was very confident that I did good in 10th, so I should at least manage one seat. But then I found it is altogether, everything is different, all the syllabus is different. It has become very hard. Even the quarterly exams in school, it was difficult to crack it. And it is like whatever I have learned in the past, it has got no significance now. I have to again learn everything. I have to study very hard. And somehow I managed to get distinction in class 12, but I couldn't get a seat in engineering. After taking drop for 2 years, I managed to get one seat. In all the process, I managed one seat, but then I lost the whole crux. And there were a lot of changes in her life too. And from Ranchi, she moved to Mangalore and finished her bachelor's in fashion designing. Slowly, our life became different. I went into college, and in college, there were further more challenges. There were financial challenges. There was changes in my family also. My father took voluntarily retirement from his service, and it was like with without a proper earning member, it was a bit difficult. And at the same time, he got transferred earlier when I was in class 12, and he shifted to Ahmedabad, Gujarat. So earlier it was like altogether a new world. We were from Bihar, we went to Ranchi, and then from Ranchi all of a sudden to Ahmedabad. It was like going to a different country altogether. We used to have different feelings that time. But then we faced it and we did it. I was there in Ranchi and they were there in Ahmedabad. So somehow we managed to, I cleared the engineering and I got a placement. And I got a placement in L&T, it's a construction firm. And till date, I'm in the same company, and the company has given me a lot. I developed myself as I joined as a highway planning engineer, and later on, I developed myself as a project management professional. My first posting was in Abu Road, and now when I'm looking back, I found this was equally challenging, adapting to the new ambience. In college, we all live in a democratic setup. We can speak anything. We can do whatever we wish for, whatever hobbies that we can pursue. But then, when one is starting his career, it is like all the focus is on job, and at times it is monotonous stuff. So somehow I managed this initial change, but then slowly I started sitting for long hours, and then I had challenges on the personal front also. So it made it easier for me to adapt to this new ambience. I worked
Hello,
in.
Vinay. Sorry to interrupt. The time limit was 4 to 6 minutes, I guess. We are ahead of time. Yeah.
Sorry. Just I will quickly wrap it up.
Sure.
Just give me half minutes. And so this was my professional journey. I worked in Rajasthan, West Bengal, Gujarat, Maharashtra, and presently in Bihar. Maybe in 1 month's time, I'll be in some other state. Whatever experience that I had, I realized that I'm up to. I always try to learn new things. I accept the situation, fight with it, and improve myself whenever I get an opportunity. I'm now on a path to listen and speak better, only to write more experiences next. While I complete to tell you about my constant change in life, I want to ask, what's yours? Thank you all for the patience. Over to you, Toastmaster Jayaraj.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vinay. Thank you for sharing your journey of life. There are ups and downs in life, but we have to keep going and improving ourselves. That is how we will reach our goals. Giving you all 30 seconds to give feedback to Toastmaster Vinay in chat box. Timer, kindly let us know once the 30 seconds are over. Okay. Let me welcome our first speech evaluator to share the objectives of the speech, Toastmaster Prakhar.
Yeah, thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Please confirm if I'm clearly audible and visible.
Yes, you are.
Okay. So all of you must have known by now the purpose of icebreaker speech, but for the sake of my target speaker, Toastmaster Vipul, I'll state the purpose again. So the purpose of this project is for the member to introduce themselves to the club and learn the basic structure of a public speech. Timer, please note the timing of a speech is around 4 to 6 minutes. And I wish all the very best to my target speaker, Toastmaster Vipul. And over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Prakhar. May I now welcome Toastmaster Vipul to present his icebreaker speech. Toastmaster Vipul, can you please quickly check your audio and video?
Yes, Toastmasters of the day. Am I audible and visible?
Yes, you are.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
Toastmaster Vipul, discovering yourself. Discovering yourself, Toastmaster Vipul.
Thank you, Toastmasters Jayaraj. As my topic suggests, discovering myself. So discovery of yourself is the first thing you have to find in order to set your goals. So my journey of my life till today, I have decided to break it into three parts. The first part is my childhood, where is my study at my native village. Second part of my life is which is turning point for me, that I got admission into Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya, which is my alma mater. And the third part is coming to Bombay to pursue my career. So starting with the first part. So my native place is situated in the North Maharashtra, hardly having the population of my village is 2,000 people. So till my first grade to fifth grade, I studied in the government school. And as my father is the teacher and our main business is the families. So I belong to the farmers, family of farmers. So till fifth standard, I studied in my government school, which is at my native place. The next point, that is my alma mater, I appeared for the test of Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya selection test. For those who don't know what is the Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya are the schools established by the Ministry of Human Resource Development to hunt the real talent of rural India and to nurture them and to prepare them to compete with the urban students. So I got selected in that space, and I got an opportunity to study at the campus of Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya. So the next thing comes that being the only child of parents and sending your kid at the very early age of 11 years old to the boarding school is in fact very tough for my parents. But for the sake of my future and the good opportunities, my parents allowed me to go to the boarding school and pursue my career. So when I entered to the campus of Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya, it's the whole new experience for me, because right from waking up at the 5:30 a.m. to for the morning exercises till getting off to the bed at 10:30 p.m. I have to do everything on my own, right from cleaning clothes, right from getting ready for the school, and all the subsequent things I have to do my own. So before that, I never had done these things. So as I grew up from 6th, 7th, 8th standard, I developed the career of self-dependent. So I did all my things on my own, and being in the campus, I got to learn about many things from my seniors, my teachers, my professors, and my fellow friends. So what I learned is you have to be dependent on yourself, because you can help yourself at any time. In my school, I learned to dream big, because I have seen my friends coming from the rural parts of India and having nothing of background, like they are achieving the great successes in their life. So my alma mater taught me to dream big. So till the 11th standard, I have not decided my career as to what to get sure, since I was the biology student, but still I am not sure with my career opportunities. One fine day, I am having discussion with my fellow friends that social things and judiciary. One of my friend told me, Vipul, judiciary is the corrupt one, judges takes bribes and all stereotypical comments. I intervened him and said, votes are the temple of justice. He said, no, Vipul, these are the just things to say, and these are things only found in books. So to my surprise, I thought, why should I don't visit court? So I went to the district court, Nasik district court, and I saw the proceedings. I saw the litigants outside the court. I saw lawyers rushing courts to courts for making submissions. And I wondered, this is the something I can do. And I did my SWOT analysis, my strength and weaknesses. I find the law, the litigation, or the law is the career which is the best suitable career for me. So I conveyed to my parents, Mommy, Papa, I want to pursue litigation law as a career. My parents said, yes, we don't have any issues, but just believe yourself. We have to take your decision, because ultimately we have to live with your profession for the rest of the life. So I gave entrance examination. I got into Symbiosis Law School. But when I went to Symbiosis Law School, the whole new, the atmosphere is new for me, because till then I was within the 32 acres of Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya, having no connect with the world, because we are not allowed to keep smartphones and tablets and something like that. And we are within that 32 acres. So then I realized the world is something new other than the JNV. So I met one gentleman there, Mr. Kale, who suggested me, Vipul, if you want to pursue litigation, Bombay is the best suitable place for you. The Symbiosis is more like corporate friendly. So I figured out, and then I came to the Bombay. When I came to the Bombay, I don't know anyone from the Bombay for my mentorship or something like that. I don't have any relative working in the law or staying at the Bombay. So I met my seniors under whom I am working right now. So the whole process from 6th class to coming to Bombay, I realized if you want to get your success, if you want to pursue your dreams, you just have to step towards your dream. Even actually you will get the people who will help you to achieve your dreams, and there are right people at right places waiting for you. You just have to put your efforts and march towards your goal. And this is what I learned. So today my objective of the today's speech is this: my journey of 100 miles start with the single step. So today I have taken my single step towards my journey. I wish you also have to take that steps as and when you feel convenient. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vipul. It is great to hear that you are in that career path in which you have dreamt about. Giving you all 30 seconds to give feedback to Toastmaster Vipul in chat box. Timer, kindly let us know once the 30 seconds are done.
Yeah, 30 seconds.
Thank you, Ritik. Can we all have standing ovation to all the speakers as they have successfully completed their icebreaker speeches? Thank you all. I hope you all are enjoying the meeting. Let us move to the second segment, that is table topic segment. When I asked him about reading, he said it helped him to enhance his vocabulary and added few more bits of infotainment to share with his friends. He recently completed Chanakya Niti and grabbed Mrityunjay book. May I call Toastmaster Ankit, table topic master for the meeting, to please take ahead with the meeting. Toastmaster Ankit, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jayaraj, for inviting me to take ahead this meeting. Please let me know if my voice is clearly audible.
Yes, it is.
Yes. So we have a little unfinished business from our previous section. That is, we haven't yet received the timings taken by each and every speaker. So may I now please invite Toastmaster Ritik to please let us know the timings taken by the 4 ice-breaking speeches. Over to you, Toastmaster Ritik.
Yeah, so the time count for the prepared speeches are Toastmaster Jayaraj 6 minutes, Toastmaster Siddhi 5 minutes 33 seconds, Toastmaster Vinay 11 minutes 23 seconds, and Toastmaster Vipul 6 minutes 9 seconds. So except Toastmaster Vinay, all the speakers are qualified for voting.
Thank you for that, Toastmaster Ritik. And yes, a minor correction. The first speaker was Toastmaster Jena. So moving on to the second and most important and exciting part of a Toastmasters meeting. Toastmasters have a tradition getting as many people to speak in a meeting as possible. The table topic session tries to uphold this tradition. So get ready to speak. The purpose of table topics is to have members practice listening, thinking, and speaking on their feet. The skill of speaking on your feet will help you throughout your work career and will also be valuable in your home life as well. To help you practice today, I have prepared few topics that hopefully will help you meet this goal. Table topics are fairly short. A table topic presentation. Wait, why am I doing his job? To explain the timing guidelines, we have Toastmaster Ritik. Toastmaster Ritik, if I may invite you once again on the virtual stage to let us know about the timings for table topic session.
Yeah, so for qualifying table topic session, one has to speak for 1 minute, and there will be green card at 1 minute, yellow card at 1 minute 30 seconds, and red card at 2 minutes. And 2 minutes, about 2 minutes, it would be disqualified for speech. Over to you.
Okay, minor amendment to that rule. Well, any speaker coming to the dais of Toastmasters has 30 seconds of grace period. So you do have a maximum of 150 seconds to speak on your table topics. Now, I thought that each and every time you have a table topic master coming up with his list of table topics. Sometimes a cheat is shown to you, or there are some random screen sharing apps which selects one number for you. Then you have the topic and you go ahead with it. I thought that this needs to change someday. And as they say, variety is the spice of life. What if I told you that you only get to read one fiction or one genre of book all your life? Trust me, you all will quit reading, even those who have reading as the hobby in their resume. So I thought of making a twist into it. The twist is that in today's session, I won't be telling you the title of the speech. But however, just like Toastmaster Jayaraj was giving you something after your every speech, similarly, I'll be giving you a recommendation or a feedback about the table topic first. Now, it's the speaker's responsibility to curate your topic or your content according to my 30 seconds of feedback, and then also guess the topic, analyze it, and then speak accordingly to it. This, my dear friends, it's called reverse engineering in the technical industry. Welcome you all to the first experiment of reverse table topics. So the rules are set, the rules are clear. I hope so. Now, to actually experience the implementation of such an experiment for the first time, may I please invite a Toastmaster first, so that owing to this, our guest or speakers for the first timer can get a hold of it. So, any nominations from Toastmasters?
I can go.
Sorry, if you could.
Sunaina.
Okay, yeah, Sunaina. But still, you do have a chance to select a number, your favorite number from 1 to 7.
Let's take 2.
Okay, 2. Thank you, Toastmaster Sunaina, for this topic. And trust me, this debate will go on till the end of time. And especially this was during Harry Potter. Someone said, no, you should read that book. And someone said, Arey, you should experience that visual treat. Now, when it comes to these, that is only one part. But for every such movie, if you come with such debate, what should I do before the movie releases? Just check if there is a book available and then go to watch that movie. Toastmaster Sunaina, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ankit. Before any movie is released, well, depends. Are you a movie fan or a book fan? Because if I take a book, I am lost in the world of book. And trust me, when you all talk about books for self-help and motivation, I read books for pleasure. Self-help is one part, but for me, the fiction and the mysteries, who killed this person, who is the murderer, and what suspense do we have here, is my area of interest. Okay, fine. I am a half lawyer and I like to solve the mystery. That's a separate thing. So when you want to decide whether you want to go for a movie or you want to go for a book, I will suggest take a book because it will help you to think and create the world for yourself. You will be a better designer and you will decide what your character looks like. If you want your Harry Potter to be a tall but slim person, you are free to do it. So let's try and define the word with your eyes first and then go how people are defining it. So let's take a book. If you know it's a book, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sunaina. And yes, your guess was on point. That hit the bullseye. Yes, your topic was books versus movies, my pick. So yes, I believe that Toastmaster Sunaina's attempt will encourage more people to take up. So now the stage is open for everyone. Those who have spoken earlier, role takers, and also the first timer guests. And yes, we have the R counter for the evening, Toastmaster Nivedita. So yes, Toastmaster Nivedita, please select one number from 1 to 7 except 2.
6.
Okay. Yes, Nivedita. Now this debate is always between me and my niece. I have actually a cupboard full of books, while she likes to have it on her tab. Now I have always guided her to reduce your screen time, or else you will have specs on your faces. To which she questions me, Mama, but you do not read your books from tab, yet you have specs. So what is the point in guiding me? So over to you, Toastmaster Nivedita.
Thank you. It's, I think, a debate at every home. The Gen Z, or we called it as even Generation A, which is just born after 2012. The way they are comfortable, they are addicted, we can say, to the tab. And I agree, it's difficult for us to explain them the benefit of using or the minuses of using this screen. But what I can tell them about the books is when you have something in your hand, you actually, when you read, you appreciate, you go into that experience, and you can visualize, you can experience that, which I don't think so I'll get it when I'm seeing it, except if it is a movie. I tried reading tab and a book, and believe me, beyond one book, beyond one chapter, I'm not comfortable with. And I completely agree with you, difficult to explain it to kids. But at least for her age, if there are picture books, if there are something which is more illustrative, interactive, I think that can generate their interest and make them read books. I'm sure we can't eliminate that, but we can help them to reduce it and find a good balance between books and a screen time. Thank you for the exciting topic and a relevant too. Over to you, table topic master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nivedita. And yes, your guess was quite close. Your topic was paper books versus ebooks. So, moving on to our next nomination. Now, I would need that someone from the guests or visiting Toastmasters should take up a topic. Come on, be a sport. Anyone who has not yet got a chance to speak on something? The stage is open for everyone. Jennifer, Chaitya, anyone?
Ankit, Anirudh is there.
Okay, yeah. Hi, Anirudh. Thank you. So, yes, could you please unmute him? Unmute. Yes. Anirudh, please select a number from 1 to 7, except 2 and 6.
7.
Okay. Nice. Right, Anirudh. That was one time that I used to look forward in school. Like everyone loved those PT classes, going on the ground and playing, and you know, those stains on your white shirt. But no one actually thought that even library was a good space to experience new things and to learn new things. That was where I actually understood a lot about my friends and also shared our own memories and interest about reading. Over to you, Toastmaster Anirudh.
So this just reminds me about my childhood when I was always into sports. I always used to participate in the playing cricket or playing other games outdoor in my school, and just right opposite to the ground was the library, and I never entered the library until maybe my school got over, college got over, after all of the the academic journey got over. So all that time I used to focus on the sports. I wish if I could go back and tweak that time a little, where I could have actually put in some time into the right opposite room when I was spending a lot of time on the ground. I think books, there could be a right balance between the books and the sports. And definitely sports, books in the long term will help us with a lot of positive skills, right? Ability to communicate well, ability to articulate well, and also provide something if it's a fictional book, we are able to visualize something which is way beyond a normal life. I wish I could go back in time and spend some time in the library. The value of that could have been immense. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anirudh. And yes, quite close. Your topic was library memories. And so in interest of time, we are going for the last topic now. And I already have a nomination, and it is Toastmaster Avantika. Toastmaster Avantika.
Yes,
select, one number from 1 to 7. Let me tell you, 2, 6, and 7 are taken.
Number 3.
Okay, yes. Thank you, Avantika, for sharing an aspect which inspires you. You know, books are instrument of always we say that it's for your entertainment or to learn something new or just to study something. But it never says that if a certain novel or a certain book which could inspire you and maybe help you inculcate a habit or help you find that evasive key to success. Thank you. Over to you now, Toastmaster Avantika.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ankit. It was the week after Christmas, and all through the workplace, not a meeting was scheduled. Everyone reporting out of office. Everyone said, if there was an emergency that you needed me, kindly contact me a week later and I will be there. Everyone was on holidays, trying to spend their vacations with all the fun and frolic they had wished for all through the months of January to November, only to celebrate the December. And that's when I decided to stay back home and not enter into that crowd of everyone rushing outdoors to only see a new destination this time. And what more happy could anybody in the house make me other than my shelf of books calling me to handheld them, open them, read through all day long. While all the jingles of Christmas were around, everybody singing the choirs, coming and visiting in the evenings, my daylight was happy and sound with the book that I held in my hand to only open and read a new story each day. To this habit that I started with only to make me safe, make me set into my indoor walls of the house, somehow turned to be my happy place, always to even visit from January to November, making my December a cheerful one, and becoming my new friends only to celebrate their company with me all day long. So that's my story of entering into the habit of reading. I would be happy to know what's yours. Thank you, and back to you, Ankit.
Thank you, Toastmaster Avantika, and a good twist in the end as well, because I was expecting that you would speak on a particular book which inspired you a lot. But yes, an interesting anecdote to hear about it and to make the best of the way of the free time that you usually get. So that was all from the table topic session. Before I sign off officially, let me invite the timer for the evening, Toastmaster Ritik, to let us know the time is taken by each table topic speaker. Toastmaster Ritik, over to you.
So for the table topic session, the time counts are as follows. Toastmaster Sunena, 1 minute 25 seconds. Toastmaster Nivedita, 1 minute 49 seconds. Toastmaster Anirudh, 1 minute 47 seconds. And Toastmaster Avantika, 1 minute 57 seconds. All table topic speakers are qualified for voting. Thank you. And over to you.
Great news that all our speakers for the evening, table topic speakers, are eligible for the vote. After some time, the voting link will be available in the chat. Please do go and vote for your best table topic speaker as well as the best individual speaker. That was all from my end. Over to you, Toastmaster Jayaraj.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ankit, for the wonderful topics and making it more interacting. As we were about to know the books to start reading habits, find out your interest. Like if you are interested in finance, go with finance book. If you're interested in something else like reading stories on supernatural powers or history, then find such book which you can complete. I have some recommendations of books. Malgudi Days, Train to Pakistan, Palace to Illusion, The Great Gatsby, and last one, The Alchemist. I will be sending in the chat box so that you can refer to it. Now let us resume to our meeting to continue with next segment, that is general evaluation. Now I would like to invite that person who is communication coach, transformation speaker, TEDx speaker, and brand architect. Toastmaster Sunil, general evaluator, please take us to this segment. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jayaraj, for taking us to this journey on this day when we are celebrating the Books Day. Nivedita started the session by saying that we are experiencing a hybrid environment gradually moving into offsite meetings. And I remember just before the lockdown, Varun, I went to an offsite meeting and I gave a moving speech. It was such a moving speech. Everybody in the room started moving towards the exit door. Also, Nivedita mentioned about moving speeches. I realized how it can be, the moving speeches. And today being the book day, I was trying to recollect because my father was very fond of books. Actually, both of us were fond of books. My father was fond of reading books and I was fond of buying books. One day on an emotional note, he said, son, you've seen my entire library. I've got so many books. Can it be one book that has changed your life? I recollected all the pages I'd gone through. And I finally made up my mind. I said, Dad, the one book that really changed my life was your checkbook. And today on a books day, you realize that without a checkbook, no books matter. We've had a very colorful day where the Toastmasters day began with, the president began with the movies that are released and how they add color to our life. But this is also a season of complaints. Any guesses why, Avantika, this is a season of complaints?
No good increment?
Yeah. Anirudh, any other?
None that I can think of.
Okay.
Summer.
Summer. We have been squeezing it all throughout our lives and it never complained. And once it squeezed us this season, and the whole world is blaming the limes. The price of the limes have hit the roof. It has only squeezed you once, but you've been squeezing them all through the life without any complaint. So welcome to the squeezing session. This is a session where you're going to be rubbed. But they say that if you complain at every rub, how will you polish yourself? So Sunena, what is that one thing that makes one thing round, but makes a person straight? What is that one thing? Because it is the season of riddles, all our previous TMOD and all started with riddles. So I said, I must also have my riddle. Yes, Varun. What is that one thing that makes something round, but makes people straight? Avantika, any guesses?
Rolling pin?
It is the rolling pin. It makes a chapati round, but makes a person straight. So Ritik, can I ask you a quiz?
Yes, sir.
What is black and white, but red all over?
Sir, I cannot recall it.
What is black and white, but red all over? Varun, I think you have the answer. It is a book.
Oh.
So welcome to the session, but before we begin, they say a man who is outside the door of his house has the toughest part of the journey behind him. And today, We had 4 such people who had stepped out of their safety zones and gave the icebreakers. So first, a big round of applause for this thunderous meeting where not 1, not 2, but 3, but 4 people began their journeys. And before I proceed, one request: if there's anybody who's attending the meeting and not doing anything objectionable while they're attending the meeting, I request you turn on their cameras. And if you don't have your cameras on, we presume you're doing something that you would like us to see. So every Toastmasters meeting has a lot of suggestions. Toastmaster Jayaraj, who do you think appreciates constructive criticism?
Can't think of.
The only one who gives it. All the other don't find it constructive because the person who's at the receiving end doesn't call it constructive. But constructive criticism is what we are here for, because you can stay in your comfort zone and never know that the tortoise can only see the whole world when he comes out of it. So, a husband one day brought white flowers for his wife. Which foxed her? Gina, would you be foxed if somebody brought you white flowers?
Yeah.
So she also was foxed. I think I have seen people bringing bright red roses, some people bring pink roses. Why has white roses? Missing at this age in life, all that I want is peace. But the person who has no white roses, but only colorful roses in his background is the timer, Ritik. Ritik, please share us the timing guidelines for the evaluators.
So the time limit for the general evaluation session is between 2 to 3 minutes. I will show green card at 2 minutes, yellow card at 2 minutes 30 seconds, and red card at 3 minutes. A grace period of 30 seconds will be given about 3 minutes. So over to you.
Devita, do you believe in love at first sight?
Yes. Yes.
If you believe in love at first sight, you must know either you need a fresh pair of specs or you have inadequate information. And this is what our speakers will come to know when the evaluators make them see things that they never thought. So let's welcome our first evaluator, Toastmaster Avantika. Over to you.
Thank you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Sunil. Good evening, dear Toastmasters and guests. Much has been said about the value of pursuing dreams. Some say that the purpose of life is to pursue your dreams, while the others say that pursuing dreams is just a waste of time. My speaker today, Toastmaster Jenna, perused us through the different pages of her life, talking about all the dreams that she held since the childhood till the day today, and how she brought them up all life and into her career that she is pursuing now. Toastmaster Jenna, what a wonderful construction of speech of the entire content portraying to us the different facets of your life, coloring during your childhood to playing with the puppets, and only visualizing that this was the dream that you wanted to move on to into your life ahead. While when I say that it's very difficult to really dream about what we want to become, I think most of us stay confused. While you were solved and you already had an answer on what you wanted to pursue, I think the same is what you shared with us through your script. The flow with which you went through, starting from the early childhood to the days in your college when you actually started experimenting, to this day when you are not just doing things, but presenting it to others, to only pitch what you know and what you can do. What a beautiful combination of inspiration as well as an introduction of yourself. I am floored. But a few are the areas that I would also want to suggest you to maybe inculcate while you attempt your next speech. How about now, Jenna? Do you see me talking to you even through the screens? That's because of the camera adjustment that I have made correct. I wished you were able to do the same to adjust it right to the focus of your eyes and speak to the audience. Because you know, right? In communication, it's very important for us to stay connected with our audience. And no easier way than to have a good eye contact. While we also say that in speech, it's very important for all of us to keep a voice modulation on. While you talked about your childhood phase, I wished you could say that with cheer, coloring and scribbling, to becoming a little more serious while you started talking about presentations and idea sharing. This would have brought in some different facets, even in your voice modulation, and helped you deliver your speech in a better way. While you had an overall great attempt, I wish you good luck for your next speech. Thank you, and back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Avantika. Your suggestions remind me of the suggestions I got. And when I came home, I started opening and closing the lid of the sugar container. Any guesses, Anirudh, why I was doing that? And somebody asked me, what the hell are you doing? I said, the doctor told me, keep checking your sugar level regularly. So checking the level of the speeches of a next speech is Toastmaster Sunena. Sunena, over to you for your evaluation.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Good evening, Toastmasters and dear guests. Well, let me be blunt. Congratulations, Siddhi, on a great icebreaker. You have already cleared and given a great speech. So let's keep it straight. One day, I saw Varun very furious. I asked what happened. He said, I don't like people who take drugs. Who is taking drugs? He said, this custom officer at the airport. Well, Varun, I want to bring this to your perusal that now you can connect with Siddhi for any kind of drugs that you want. Siddhi, you started your speech with the bang. A quote, you had something great in your speech. The structure of this speech was well. You had a good flow, how you started from your childhood to your academics in between, where you started going to sports and then you came back, and then you also focused on medical. You started to prepare for NEET. You did your job and gave the NEET exam again. I mean, what kind of juggle that you had, for sure. But in your speech, you delivered such a beautiful speech in such a good structure and flow that you could also engage people. You asked a question for the audience engagement. You even referred a movie which is mostly seen by everybody and everybody could connect. So full marks on connecting with audience. Good scoring on starting on with a quote. You introduced yourself well. I think I really know you now. So full marks there. And I would like to say, firstly, welcome to the club. And just one suggestion, if you could slow down your pace, that's it. Just take some small pauses in your speech so that people can grasp what you are saying. Sometime when you said that I am in the 4th year of this, I'm doing this, B.Pharm, I actually lost. I knew there is something like a college, but I didn't knew whether it's completed or you are doing the job. So just if you can give me that clarity, it will be better. And otherwise, just few pauses, otherwise your flow and your structure, you even use great language. You were confident and you were entertaining for sure. Every time I was thinking, okay, what happens next? Okay, this is the job. Okay, this is what she's doing. And every time you were coming up with something new. So full marks on that. Very congratulations. Thank you for coming to BTM, and we would like to have you as our member. Thank you so much. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sunera. Your suggestions were indeed useful. And as on Books Day, the books give you a lot of suggestions. Right? Varun, do books give you suggestions? Can they inspire you?
Yeah, they do.
After reading The Ill Effects of Drinking, I gave up reading. So you can have your choice on how to take these suggestions. And let's hear how our next evaluator, Toastmaster Dinesh, has suggestions for our next speaker. Over to you, Toastmaster Dinesh.
Thank you, General Evaluator Sunil Agarwal. It was really a pleasure hearing to my speaker, Vinay. His life account, starting from a small village in Darbhanga, doing his studies at Ranchi, coming from a village to Ranchi with a complete change in environment, subsequently developing interest in maths, because that was the prevalent concept that once you are good in maths, you will do good in studies. That was the prevalent concept at that time, and your parents insisted on your improving the maths. Subsequently, you went to engineering college, and in the school, the interesting part of your life at school was your motivation to do well in studies, to impress your girlfriend, whom ultimately you could not impress and could bring her to be your girlfriend. On the whole, your study was, your account of your life was very, very interesting. You became a successful engineer, traveled around India, going to places. As a maiden speaker, your facial expression, use of hand gestures was, I will say, quite good. To improve further on your speech, I'll say that you have to improve the pitch of your voice. You have to understand that you are not talking one-to-one, you are talking to an audience. So all you have to do is increase the volume of your talk, volume of your speech, so that you should give the impression that you are speaking to an audience, not speaking one-to-one. Secondly, the most important thing, you were so engrossed in your speech that you lost complete track of time and you took 11 minutes. Time is most important. You should keep track of your time and try to complete your speech well within the time. Thank you very much. Over to you, General Evaluator Sunil Agarwal.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dinesh. Indeed, suggestions can either inspire you to stay where you are or can inspire you to change. A man was booked and brought into the jail, and he was asked what was his fault. He's saying, you are asking, roaming naked on a beach with the clothes hanging on your shoulder, and you ask, he's saying, I don't know what's this fuss about. I was only looking for a place to change. A place to change for our next speaker, who for a change comes from another club. Please welcome Toastmaster Prakhar for his evaluation.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Okay, please confirm if I'm clearly audible and visible.
To all those who want to listen to you, you are audible.
Okay, great. So first of all, to my target speaker, it was a pleasure hearing you. I was so glad that you finished your speech with a quote because that's a really important thing, to finish it at a high. You can start it at a high and then you can modulate it, and then you should finish at a high so that audience can relate to it, and the effect should be after the speech as well, after some time. So you finished with a quote. I quote you again. For a journey of 100 miles, you should start by taking a single step. And I'm so glad that you took a single step by giving your icebreaker today. And the number of things you excelled at today, I would say the hand gestures, even though you were stick to your laptop, but I could see your hand gestures. So that's a very good thing to have for a speech. The voice modulation was great. You were continuously changing your voice modulation throughout the speech. Like when you said that you were enrolled in a Navodaya Vidyalaya school, I could relate to it, the struggles of that basically, because I have some friends that have gone through it, and how you came out of your shell and moved to Bombay. So that was a great gesture. And the storytelling part was great. But one suggestion I have for you is that you could have included more instances from your life, just not a single step, because icebreaker is something that you need to break uh, the stigma of with the audience of public speaking. And you might want to work on, I have a few points in the vocal variety of your speech and how to structure a speech basically, because you included a single instance and you could take that to in a 4 to 6 minutes time, right? You could have included more stuff, and the speed of your speech could have been improved, because at the end of the speech I could feel like that you were rushing into it, just that you want to finish it. So that's one thing you should note. And yeah, that's all. And to challenge yourself, I would say if you could challenge yourself by giving a speech standing up, you could, or maybe you could move your laptop a bit away from you so that we could see your body language, because that's a great tool to convey your message to the audience. And I think, yeah, that's, or you could sit and just a minute. And one thing I liked most about your speech, that you maintained a smile throughout. So that's always a great tool to overcome the jitters while you are giving your first speech, right? So that's a great point, and that's all I have for you. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Prakhar. So you must have seen all the evaluators had great suggestions. And as we are on the day of books, I learned a lot from books. My mother had two sisters, one elder, one younger, and I really didn't know how to call them. Avantika, have you had a problem? How to reach out to your aunts?
Many times. I have 7 aunts.
And I didn't know, I couldn't remember their names. So I found a way. I used to call the elder one maximum and the younger one minimum. And what were the maximum minimum timings? Let's invite Ritik to give us the timings of all the evaluators.
So for the general evaluation, the time comes as follows. So Toastmaster Avantika, 3 minutes, 13 seconds. Toastmaster Sunana, 3 minutes, 5 seconds. Toastmaster Dinesh, 2 minutes, 57 seconds. And Toastmaster Prakhar Gautam, 2 minutes, 35 seconds. So thank you, and over to you.
All have qualified, I believe.
Yeah, everyone has qualified.
Yeah, so would I request the Sergeant Arms to share the voting link for choosing the best evaluator? Very rarely all for qualify, but today we have options of many. So great, so we had a great session, and the litmus test to how well the meeting is going is how fast the people keep leaving the meeting rooms as the meeting room keeps shrinking as you go towards the end of the meeting. So that's a testimony of how interesting I am, right, Varun? Okay, so as usual, the meeting started well on time, everything great. I will request everybody that in law, bail is a norm and jail is an exception. In an online meeting, cameras on is the norm and a camera off is an exception. if you want to not feel that you are away, if you want to enjoy, encourage, participate, so you realize how quick learner Ankit is. I don't know whether he put it on my what I said, or he just realized he's the next one to join me. But I guess words do have power. Words have power, right? So if you want to really enjoy this new normal of Toastmaster meetings, which we don't know is a great boon that we are able to meet offline. We can have members across from different cities, from different places, able to join in. Then you have to simulate the offline experience in an online meeting. And the best way is to person feeling that they are addressing an audience, because you can feel, you can see the expressions, you can interact with them. So my first suggestion to all the members are, not for this meeting, for every meeting, try to keep your cameras on, because you can't hide in a physical meeting, but you can in an online meeting. So unless you are a black bencher and you are overhearing something that you shouldn't be hearing, then you should be participating. So we had a great start with the Sergeant in Arms speaking, opening, and Varun.
Yes.
I believe your wife one day caught you with 2 watches on your wrist, because she said you were 2-timing her. So today we had somebody, 2 people who were donning 2 hats. So I feel that reduces the number of people that are available. So the quality of meetings should actually encourage people to participate. And plus, our golden rule is that non-role players should be participating in table topics, but where there are no other people, then we are forced to reach out to the others. So it is in our interest to get more people. So great show by the presiding officer. So one suggestion to the presiding officer, Ankit, what do you think your role is?
Welcome the members and introduce something about the club. Make them homely, even at a foreign club.
Don't try to be homely. Never try to make people feel at home. If they wanted to feel that way, they would have stayed there. Your idea is to enthuse them about Toastmasters. So I feel somewhere, while the information is very encouraging, entertaining, but somewhere you should be able to link it that you are at the right place, because you can't just share a story and not link it either with a theme or with the purpose of reaching here. So the purpose of a president is always to make the people who have joined to feel good that they are here, those who are sitting on the fence to feel that they should be part of it, and therefore don't waste a president address in beating around the bush. That's my one suggestion for that. The TMOD, Jayaraj, where have you been hiding? I've never seen or met you. So I always meet people twice, the first and the last time. I'm sure you're also going to feel the same way. So Jayaraj, how was your experience as a Toastmaster? I believe it's the first.
Yeah, this is my first time. Yeah.
No, I'm talking about the Toastmaster day role.
Yes.
So how did you find? Were you happy with how the things went by?
Yes, I feel like everything was good, and
yeah. So I don't know whom you were feeling while you were in the meeting, but we really enjoyed your role as a Toastmaster today. You began with a good riddle. Your energy was fine. I only feel there has to be a little more excitement in your voice.
Okay.
Because nobody is going to be more excited than you are. So I think if you had a little more energy, it would have energized the meeting forward. But Gina, I first energized the meeting a lot. Any guesses how?
Voice modulation, maybe?
By not showing up. That really energized everybody. Okay, so great show by the Toastmaster of the day. So now we've had a lot of people here who have been doing various roles. And tell me, Anirudh, when you travel, are you always scared of losing your baggage?
Sometimes occasional thoughts come.
Dunela, Are you always scared? I hope I don't lose my baggage.
Never.
Okay, but there is one baggage that you are always wanting to lose. And as there's a baggage of unwanted arms and ahs, please welcome Nivedita to give our counters report.
Thank you, General Evaluator.
The name is Sunil.
Thank you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Sunil. So our opening batsman, Toastmaster Varun, was flawless. Coming to presiding officer, come table topic master. Just 3 hours. To that. That's it. Jayaraj, 1 hour, 1 arm, 1 short pause. Timer Ritik was flawless. Great going. Toastmaster Jina, 1 hour, 1 long pause, 2 short pauses, and 3 repeat words. Toastmaster Siddhi, 2 hours, 2 buts. That's it. Toastmaster Vinay, 5 hours, 1 hour, more than 5 likes, 2 so, 1 that, 1 and, 2 long pauses, 2 short pauses, and 3 repeat words. Toastmaster Vipul, 4 hours, 1 okay, 2 so, and 1 repeat word. General Evaluator Toastmaster Sunil is flawless as of now. Toastmaster Avantika just 1 right. Sunaina, 1 okay, 1 that, 1 you know, for sure 1, and full marks as a repeat word. Toastmaster Dinesh flawless. Toastmaster Prakhar, more than 5 times, 1 filler word, 1 basically, and 3 and. Toastmaster Anirudh, more than 5 are. Toastmaster Nivedita, 2 hours and 1 arm. That's it from my side. Thank you and over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nivedita. Thank you so much. Have you ever experienced some riddles that you just can't answer? Today is the day of riddles, Anirudh. Were you able to answer when Toastmaster Jayaraj started with the riddle? One day my teacher in the class asked me, what is the English? The meaning of Ford? I said, Gadi. He think, what's the meaning of Oxford? I said, Belgadi. And we now have a grammarian, Varun, who will teach us the nuances of the language as he puts it to your perusal.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator Toastmasters Meet. Let's start with the good usage of the grammar that we heard from the speakers today. Inculcate reading habits was one that I could catch. My world tilted towards the platform. When you dream, you act. And when you act, you should act well. That was also an interesting phrase. Ardently anticipated means to be excited. Waiting with bated breath. That was also a good one. Eagerly, anxiously waiting for something is what it meant. Put your efforts and march towards your goal. And another one, variety is the spice of the life. And some not so good usage of the grammar. Take a book to read. I would have used pick a book to read. By this book, I came to know. The correct usage would have been from this book, I came to know. At a daily basis, should have used on a daily basis. I belong to should be used. If you interested can be replaced with if you are interested. Increase volume of voice. Instead of using that, I think volume with voice looks like it's a bit redundant. So we can directly use increase the pitch of your voice. And the word of the day, my compliments to Toastmasters of the day, Jayaraj, Sunaina, who used it multiple of times, Avantika, and the general evaluator, Toastmasters to me. That's all from my side. Over to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you, Varun, for that lovely evaluation. So as we saw, the Toastmaster did a great job. Ankit has gone back into hiding. Ankit, do you pay by usage your camera? So as a presiding officer and as a TTM, at least the role players should demonstrate for the others to be having their cameras on. And I noticed even while you were the TTM, you were periodically putting your cameras off. So my suggestion is that the key role players, the top three and all, really don't, and a presiding officer, because then it becomes a norm. So I feel that is one suggestion I want to give regarding. Otherwise, it was a great job. You did a lovely job. Tried some innovation as the table topics. And secondly, see, table topics is a great way to compress, cover up. So therefore, you know, when meeting is going a little awry, take a few less topics. And secondly, you have every reason to take few topics because there were hardly any non-role players, you know. So otherwise, if everybody keeps on doing their thing, then the whole meeting stretches a bit too long. And finally, all the evaluators did a great job. The role players have done a fantastic job. So, Jayaraj, I am reading a book on anti-gravity and I lost the relevance of the titles of books. Guess why? Sunana, you're smiling. Did you guess it? I'm reading a book on anti-gravity.
Because
and I
you're
can
holding
hardly,
it the wrong thing.
and I can't put it down. And while this meeting comes closer to the end, I can't put it down. But thank you for all of them contributing to the lovely show. And back to you, Toastmaster of the day, Jayaraj.
Thank you, Jalal. Sunil, keeping us engaged in the meeting.
You're muted, Jayaraj.
Sorry. Okay, I was saying thank you to keeping us engaged in the meeting with your riddles and your sense of humor. We can't stop smiling when you were using one-liners. Thank you once again. Now
Is
we
that a
have
polite way to say I shouldn't speak too much, right?
No. Okay, thank you once again. Now we have come to an end of our session and say goodbye. But before that, I would like to say there is more treasure in books than in all the pirates' loot on Treasure's Island. If you want to change your life and see the power of reading, read 5 pages daily. One day you will find a good reader within you. Now I would like to hand over this to Presiding Officer, Toastmaster Ankit.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Jayaraj, for an amazingly coordinated session. It actually gives me a surprise and a sense of achievement that I did go with the belief that even if it's your first time, that will be a smooth sailing journey. And thank you for being back on that trust. So that was it from today's meet. Quite a few first times today. Almost 4 speakers taking up their first speech. The timer playing it for the first time. Toastmaster Prakhar was invited to this club for the first time. And of course, a new innovation, a new formula for table topics for the first time. Although I believe that going forward, you do not have a first time continuing the habit of reading. But still, a beginning is a beginning. You may please go on to start your next book, resume any journal or any magazine, or even start with editorials of newspapers. That's a good start anyway. So, without much ado, going forward and towards the last honors for this meeting, I have the awards for the evening. For the best speaker, it's Toastmaster Siddhi. Although Toastmaster Siddhi had to leave this meeting for some other work, yes, we'll share the certificate and the appreciation with her offline. Moving on to the best speech evaluator, or rather, let's go for the best table topic speaker. It's Toastmaster Avantika. Congratulations, Avantika. Next on our list is the best speech evaluator, and it goes to Toastmaster Sunena. And last but not the least, the award for the best big three goes to the general evaluator for the evening, Toastmaster Sunil. Congratulations to all the winners and participants. Thank you very much. It was a great evening to have you all experience something new and share our common love for reading. So the next meeting update, it will be on the 7th of May, planned as of now. I know that there were messages of 30th April as being the next meeting, but the district council meeting for district 98 is to be scheduled on that day, the entire day. So we had to push our meeting. Next meeting will be on 7th May. Roles are available from the big three. You have table topics master and general evaluator open. Tag roles, yes, open. And speaker slots, yes, you all are encouraged to come up and deliver your speeches. Mentors, yes, you can start texting your mentees right now. That's all from my end. And having that imaginary gavel in my hand, I close this meeting. Thank you for your attendance.